RYUC After Action Report Essential. The presence within our creative spirit and our heartfelt passion. This recording is part of a series of recordings reporting on an exploration into our creativity, collectively entitled Releasing Your Unlimited Creativity After Action Report, abbreviated RYUC AAR. This particular recording addresses the creativity essential about how the creative essence of creation interacts with the human being and understanding the presence within and our creative spirit and its heartfelt passion. Background on the creativity essentials and the RYUC material. The creativity essentials are concepts, principles, ideas, or whatever one may wish to call them, related to the source out of which our creativity arises. The journey of exploration into our creativity revealed the essentials needed to be addressed and understood in some way by an individual if one desired to move as deep as possible into their own creativity, creative ability, and creative power in this incarnation. Otherwise, one would be placing self-imposed limits on their creativity. Essentials are not building blocks or fundamental items used to create something. Rather, the essentials are about the stuff out of which the building blocks and foundational items arise. It is suggested you ponder, contemplate, do your own experiments with the creativity essentials such that you know their truth for yourself. Here I wish to bring to your attention we each have a very unique perspective of creation. What I say and write about on the topic of creativity with its relationship with the creative essence of creation are my comments based on my observation and experience from the journey of exploration into our creativity. If what I say resonates with you, use it. Otherwise, it's recommended you do your own contemplation, experiments, and exploration into the variety of topics discussed here to see which is true for yourself. Experiencing the creative essence of creation. Here we need to realize the flow of energy within us, giving us life, was created by the creative essence of creation to fuel the experience it desired to have. The creative life energy will carry us to where we need to be. As we live the life we were created to experience, we will be energized by that life, having the health and the passion that we need to have these experiences desired by the creative essence of creation. Whether we realize it or not, following the feeling we feel within us is what we do when we just allow ourselves to be carried from life experience to life experience. Without any thought of being carried from experience to experience is how most individuals journey through life. We just respond to what next presents itself. There's nothing wrong with this approach, for the process was designed to work this way. However, our mind becomes involved with its judgments and preferences. Here we need to realize our thoughts are a response to the energy we sense. We follow what we feel overlaid with our judgments and mental interpretations of what we are experiencing. Our thoughts are mental interpretations of what we feel. We then create some story about our life and what we think our life is about, and often end up moving away from the life we were actually created to experience. This creative essence of creation within us, seeking to experience creation through us, is experienced in three ways. Although these three ways can be discussed separately, they are entwined with each other. One way is as a presence within that seeks to guide us through life. The second is a creative spirit pushing or pulling us to create something specific to us. And a third way as the flow of our creative life energy and our heartfelt creative passion. When we awaken to this flow of energy and what it seeks to experience, our life begins to change. Although there are three ways we can awaken to this energy, awakening to this energy lies on a spectrum. At one end of the spectrum is an involuntary awakening where we feel we are somehow being pushed, if not forced, into a direction of life. Often events will move us toward what the creative essence of creation desires are characterized by accident, illness, disease, or some type of event which we consider somewhat traumatic. At the other end of the spectrum is where we align with the creative essence of creation is as easy as following a feeling within one's being and having the focus and courage to stay aligned with it. Here we will experience one or all three ways as described. Experiencing the flow of the creative essence of creation as an internal compass. We experience this creative essence of creation by the way it causes us to experience and engage life in three ways. Its primary way is through feeling and can be done unconsciously or consciously. The feeling can be described in a variety of ways, such as a desire, a longing, or a push or pull of some type. Feeling the flow of energy within us carries us to the experiences we are invited to have. Often the feeling can be experienced as a deep, heartfelt passion or a desire arising from the heart's desire, to create something of importance to ourselves, but not necessarily for ourselves, or simply a passion to act from the heart. When followed, the feeling is often described as following your bliss, following your heartfelt passion, following the heart's desire, being in the flow, and a variety of other similar descriptions. This path is about feeling, but not following any feeling we have. Rather, this path is to discern what gives rise to a particular feeling and contentment with what we do in life. When we are aligned with the flow, we can allow the energy and the particular feeling it provides to guide our life when in alignment with the flow. This feeling can function as an internal compass. Following the feeling of the internal compass was the primary way I experienced the creative essence of creation through the first 44 years of my life. Following this feeling is to follow our inner wisdom in how it causes us to respond to life. Intuitive insight, synchronicities, even guideposts can routinely be seen to arise in alignment with this feeling. In awakening and following the flow of energy, this flow will give a direction and meaning to our life. When one is aligned with the flow and feeling the contentment in what is occurring, there is a knowing. One just knows without a doubt that this is what I should be doing in and with my life. The easiest way to become aware of feeling this creative life energy within is to focus on one's breathing and feel the chest rising and falling. As we feel the chest rise and fall, then bring one's attention to what one is feeling within their body. Then bring one's attention to the heart area of the chest to see what one is feeling in their heart and see what it desires to create. Following the feeling of the heart requires us to navigate from the heart. This means to allow the feeling within the heart to set direction for our life. Then have the mind figure out how to do those things in life that allow us to live with activities that either align with those feelings within the heart or move in a direction in life towards those activities. Experiencing the creative essence of creation as a presence within. The second way this creative essence of creation is experienced is as a presence within. This presence can be experienced within each of us. Although each person will experience this creative essence of creation in their own unique way, it is generally experienced as a presence. The presence has been described in various ways and can be described in as many unique ways as there are individuals. You can call this presence a divine presence or whatever you wish. To attempt to describe this presence anything other than a presence is to move into personal perception, if not speculation, as to what it really is. This presence is something that is present within us that cannot be explained, but it can be felt. But it is not felt as a flow, as with the creative life energy. Rather, it is felt as if sitting very close to another, feeling their energy. We feel their presence. However, this presence can be experienced much like a deep undercurrent gently carrying and directing us through life, as if drifting along a river current. Experiencing this presence as an undercurrent almost at an unconscious level was the primary way I experienced this presence. Then it would surface much like a submarine to deliver a message and submerge, running almost unconsciously until the next message. This presence within appears to lie within or behind our mind and can be experienced as directing or guiding our life. Intuitive insights, knowing, which is knowing something without knowing how we know, internal guidance, a still small voice, and the like are all a result of this presence within. This presence wants to access the power, ability, and health to achieve what the creative essence of creation created us to experience. If we examine our lives and look carefully, we can begin to see there is a presence there in our life. This presence is paying attention to our life and is commenting on our life. At times there are moments that we feel like we're being helped by hidden hands, by something in us that knows us better than we know ourselves. It needs to be understood the creative essence of creation seeks to experience its creation through us. This presence has been there since our birth and carries us through life. As such, this presence may not be interested in our comfort, but it is interested in the truth of our nature, whatever that truth may prove to be. One can come to observe where what our mind wants is often at odds or in conflict with what this presence desires. So one can expect some type and kind of ego struggle occasionally, if not throughout the process. But only in living and being our true unique self can we see our unique gifts as to what this creative essence of creation desires to express through us. It has been observed, if we do not live to some degree what the energy within us which brought us into this reality and what it desires for us, we will never find fulfillment. There will always be this feeling there is something we are missing in life, or that something just doesn't feel right. Our life does not give us the fullness that we intuitively know is available. We become puzzled as to why we do not feel fulfilled and life is worth living. When we are not going in the right direction and something has to be changed, we will be guided, nudged, and directed in some way. But we must be open to listening to the information this presence provides. Otherwise, if we are not paying attention, it is quite common we will have some type of an intervention in our life, if not an experience which some would judge as a traumatic experience. How we access and unravel what this presence is communicating to us and to understand what it asks of us is unique to ourselves, involving sorting through all the distractions in life to which we are continually inundated. Our human mind will filter all our experiences based on what we believe and direct our creative life energy into what our mind chooses based on what our mind has come to believe and the preference and prejudices of our mind has for almost anything. The preference of our mind gives us a choice. The choice is to follow the presence as we understand the presence and perceive the presence unique to us, or follow what our mind has come to believe is important for us based on what it has observed in life. The typical recommendation is to quiet the mind and listen for guidance. Although generally a good recommendation, is not quite that simple. Rather, one needs to become very mindful and aware of exactly how and what this presence communicates to us. Our necessary action is not about quieting the mind. Our necessary action is about becoming aware as to what is being communicated. This requires a solo journey. Others can advise us and suggest ways to understand what is asked of us, but it is our journey and no one can take this journey for us. The third way to experience the creative essence of creation as a creative spirit and a creative passion. I first became consciously aware of the existence of the creative essence of creation within us in the exploration of our creativity as our creative spirit. However, I did not experience it as I now explain it here. Rather, I experienced within myself and others a creative spirit and an associated creative passion. I did not initially recognize it as the creative essence of creation. I talked about the creative spirit and our creative life energy as both being intertwined and integrated, and integrating the connection reflected in the relationship between our mind and heart, giving rise to the mind-body connection and the healing potential within this mind-body connection. I found there was something which we desired to create and express in and with our life. It could be to create something or a way of being. It is what can best be described as an energy desiring to be experienced that catalyzes and energizes our life. It was observed that what this creative spirit desires is not expressed in some way, we will feel something is missing in our life. Only in time did I come to understand the deeper connection between our creativity, creative essence of creation, and this relationship to our life. What I came to understand, both feeling the flow and experiencing the present within, can be experienced as our creative spirit and its creative passion. I made the connection when I realized we are the stuff out of which creation forms, and we create in every aspect of our life. The stuff out of which creation arises lies within us and gives rise to our creative ability and creative power. It can be said we have the same power of creation which created creation within us and available to us in every moment. What I came to understand, the creative life energy and its passion is reflecting the presence within as the flow of energy, and the creative spirit is reflective of experiencing the presence within as a creative entity. Seeing this presence within as a creative spirit, we can communicate with the creative essence of creation, creator to creator. What this means to us and what we do with this understanding is our story and our journey through life. Experiencing the creative essence of creation in possibly the most practical way. Listening to the presence within and following the flow of our creative life energy tends to be more of a passive alignment with the guidance of the creative essence of creation, which is seeking to experience its creation through us. However, the expression of the creative essence of creation as the creative spirit and its creative passion tends to be a more active engagement with the world and provides the opportunity to fully express our free will as to how we will act on that energy within our being expressed by this creative spirit. The following is what was used to introduce the creative spirit and its associated creative passion for years before its relationship to what the creative essence of creation desired to experience through us, in which we can experience in one of three often entwined ways. One way is as a presence within seeking to guide us through life. A second was the creative spirit pushing or pulling us to create something specific to us. And the third way was the flow of our creative life energy and heartfelt passion. The single most important yet unexpected observation made in the exploration of our creativity is that within each of us is an energy within us that is best described as a unique creative spirit or unique creative life-giving energy. It is experienced as a heartfelt passion that energizes our life. It is felt as a desire to create something dear to our heart, or it can be felt as a deep longing in our heart that pulls us towards something in creation. This creative spirit or life-giving creative energy is found at the core of our being. Our awareness lies cloaked or entwined within this creative spirit. It can be experienced as our awareness seeking an experience of creation. It became very clear that this creative spirit which lies in each heart is very dear and special to its creator. If followed, it will allow us to align with our life path that our Creator has ordained or planned for our life. The creative spirit is what our awareness is using to energize our human experience. It will guide us through life if we are willing to listen to it. It is the essence of who and what we each are at the deepest level of our being as a human being. It can be called our authentic self. It has been symbolically localized in our heart, but also can be felt in the body we inhabit and throughout our being. It is most often experienced as a deep heartfelt passion canalizing our life and pushing or pulling us to a particular direction in life. It is what energizes us and gives us life. Our challenge is to allow it to freely flow out. This challenge in life is to learn what serves and does not serve us to give us the fullness of being and inner satisfaction of life. This creative spirit is an energy, for it gives us the ability to make things happen. It is a spirit, for it has an existence unto itself, and it is creative. It cannot not create. This creative spirit within each of us is something it wants to create and experience in physical creation through our physical body. The creative spirit is the source of our creative power and creative ability. It is energized and catalyzed by this creative life energy which flows from the source of creation. It is our direct link with the source of creation. Alignment with the flow of this creative life energy is alignment with the source of creation. When we are mentally aligned with the flow of our creative life energy found within this creative spirit, we are in alignment with the source of creation. This creative life energy is the water of life and nourishes all of our creative needs. It is what supplies the creative life energy and passion that catalyzes all of our creative actions on our life to create what we desire. It influences all that we do. Our challenge is to allow it to freely flow out. Alignment with the creative passion is the source of inner bliss, inner satisfaction, and life and joy. Alignment with the flow of the creative life energy emanating from our creative spirit is to live and express our authentic self. It reflects who we are at our deepest levels. That is, we are a creator and our body is the vehicle we chose to use in our current life. If this creative spirit is free to unfold and properly nurtured, it will blossom and reveal the unique gifts we incarnated to give. Its free and unfettered unfoldment is what allows for an inner satisfaction with life that never runs dry no matter what is happening in life. If we are unable to live and express this passion to a sufficient degree, we will feel something in life is missing, and maybe even feel an outright pain that life is somehow not worth living. In seeking to look outward to try and address what seems to be missing, no solution is found, for what is missing is inside of us. That is, something within us associated with our creative spirit and its heartfelt passion is unexpressed for whatever reason it may be. To help individuals access their creative spirit and its heartfelt passion, the discerning personal truth and calibrating your internal compass exercises were created and guides provided as to learning to navigate from the heart. Summary bullets of experiencing the creative essence of creation. The following bullets are simple reminders about experiencing the creative essence of creation. Our creative spirit is our direct link with the source of creation. Alignment with the flow of its creative life energy is alignment with the source. Aligning with the creative essence of creation within us, seeking to experience creation through us, will carry us to a life worth living. A life worth living is so rich and so full that if you died in this moment and discovered eternity is doing what you're doing now, life is so rich and full in opportunities and adventures and internally satisfying, you would be perfectly satisfied to live eternity exploring all that is available to you. Given the creative essence of creation within us is seeking to experience creation through us, it is beneficial to ask the creative essence of creation what is asked of us in whatever way we are comfortable communicating with the creative essence of creation. Awakening to and following the creative life energy is what gives rise to the experiences characterized as following your bliss, following your heart's felt passion, following the heart's desire, being in the flow, and a variety of other similar descriptions. When we are aligned with the flow, we can allow the energy and the particular feeling it provides to guide our life when in alignment with the flow. Intuitive insights, synchronicities, even guideposts can routinely be seen to arise. When one is aligned with the flow and feeling of contentment in what is occurring, there is a knowing. One just knows without a doubt, this is what I should be doing in and with my life. The creative essence of creation is experienced as a presence within. This presence within can be experienced much like a deep undercurrent pulling or propelling and directing us through life. The stuff out of which creation arises lies within and gives rise to our creative ability and creative power. It is said we have the same power of creation which created creation within us and available to us in every moment. This presence within is paying attention to our life and is commenting on our life. At times there are moments that it feels like we are being helped by hidden hands, by something in us that knows us better than we know ourselves. This presence has been there since our birth and carries us through life. The presence within has reason and desires for experiencing its creation through us and may not be interested in our comfort, but it is interested in the truth of our nature, whatever that truth may prove to be. It has been observed if we do not live to some degree with this energy within us which brought us into this reality and what it desires for us, we will never find fulfillment. There will always be this feeling there is something we are missing in life or that something just doesn't feel right. Our life does not give us the fullness that we intuitively know is available. We become puzzled as to why we do not feel fulfilled and life is worth living. When we are not going in the right direction and something has to be changed, we will be guided, nudged, and directed in some way. But we must be open to listening to the information this presence provides. Otherwise, if we are not paying attention, it is quite common we will have some type of intervention in our life, if not an experience, which some would judge as a traumatic experience. It can be seen as the proverbial club on the side of the head to get our attention. For any transformation or change which we need to undergo, a gentle phoenix is available through our intuition and the natural healing process which lies within our being. We only need to ask for guidance and then pay attention to the guidance that is given.